choose your adventure, cause eventually you're ashes. So I live for my passions, ain't no life passing me by, I'm all about action. We can talk about it later when we feel the effects, cause they were lasting. Putting in the work now, so later we can get back. I ain't got no 401k, just a click track. Making something out of nothing, and that something gives back. Residual energy, call that the feedback. Loop it up and make a new arrangement, then bump that to infinity and back to the present, where we put it on wax so we can deliver the message to the people tuning in on the earbuds, or if they hear it on the speakers in the big club. These days it's rare to hear something unique. Copycats copying copycats and sounding weak. I'm here to leave an impression, cause it seems the rap scene is in a depression. It's really that simple. Everything we do leaves a ripple. It's really that simple. Everything we do leaves a ripple. It's really that simple. Everything we do leaves a ripple. It's really that simple. Everything we do leaves a ripple. Smooth as glass, perfect reflection, placid. Had to shake it up, change the perception. Laughing instead of crying and complaining, control the emotions. Even when it's raining, the grass is growing, and I'm knowing that it takes hardship to build character. That's why I'm breathing it in, don't need an air filter. Building up resistance, immune to the garbage. Sticking to my heart, that's the life of an artist. Hardest thing I've done is stay true to it. A lot of cats fall off, don't follow through with it. I try to not get lost when I'm looking for myself. The moral compass guides us to find the true north. Stick to the path, I stay on course. Of course I lost my way a couple times to find my voice. Now that I found it, I'ma use it, make some noise. Better yet, some music so our souls can rejoice.
Tops to the ocean, why can't we be in a better place? There are pieces of the world in that are in me too. There are shards in the sun, and it rains on everyone, and everything's undone and broken until we're all in a better place. Yeah, we're all in a better place. When the water flows straight down to the ocean, why are the lines so hard to trace? Oh, I'm not asking you not to be you. I don't want you to change your life, but I just want to be together, you and me, from sea to shining sea, the way it used to be. Remember, we were all in a better place. Yeah, we were all in a better place. Yeah, the river runs wild, nothing is for certain. Why let this moment go to waste? Are you ready for that grand embrace? Right here in a better place.
All right. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be in this beautiful planet of ours. This is Metaphysical Meetup with Marc live here on the Intuitive Prospector Facebook page. You can also catch this show over on our YouTube channel. Just look for Marc Lainhart, the Intuitive Prospectors, and join the 20,000 subscribers that have weekly soul adventures. So how is everybody doing this Friday? Happy summer to you. A lot going on in the world. And I was trying to figure out this morning what it is I wanted to talk about because I usually don't know what I'm going to talk about until right up before the show. I usually will sit back here on my dedicated meditation mat with the lotus flower. You got a little drum next to it, some singing bowls. You just get the energy going, get the energy frequency, vibrating up. Because if you want to really unlock the secrets of the universe, you have to think in the terms of energy, frequency, vibration. Nikola Tesla has talked about this. Carl Sagan talked about this. A lot of physicists talk about the future of medicine will actually be through frequency and vibration and sound and music. So this morning, while I was just kind of tuning in of what I wanted to talk about, it's about remaining calm and how our nervous system and how we respond from an anatomy and physiology, from a mindset. And I think we're going to do a little meditation as well on Soma breath work, something that I've found in my journey over the years, something that one of my spiritual counselors that I still see to this day had turned me on to what's called Soma breath work. And so I was thinking maybe today, and help you understand your calmness, we can do a little bit of Soma, that's Soma, and work on just remaining calm, because I believe one of the best lessons that we can learn in life is how to master how to remain calm. And I talk about this in my book. You can get this book at marclainhart.com right here. Any links, newsletter, latest podcast, talking about in between worlds, reflections, if you will. And I talk about how important it is to remain calm, especially if you're surrounded. The world is in chaos, right? Here, for those of us here in the United States, we have a lot of uncertainty for the future of the United States, right? It's amazing to realize how lucky we are to have our country in a democracy state, because democracy is a test, right? It's not proven, and history shows us empires, with the exception of Rome, get to about 250 years, and then it all falls apart. Debt, war, divide, what have you. And it's just interesting. I've been watching a series on Apple TV called Manhunt, and it's actually based on the story of the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, John Wilkes Booth, and how they, found him. The war had just ended 5 days previous, and then John Wilkes Booth went to the Ford Theater and shot Lincoln in the back of the head. And it's on Apple TV. Apple has just some really great shows streaming right now. And it's really the story about how the country almost fell apart because the Confederacy had surrendered, and it was about how to move the country forward. And just really trying times of, we first had our Revolutionary War that gave us independence, where a bunch of guys got together. The founding fathers said, hey, we don't want to live under the rule of the king and pay taxes to a land that we don't even know. And so just how the country was formed is fascinating. Maybe a little luck in there, maybe a little destiny in there, I don't know. But I always try to, when I read, I read memoirs, I read a lot of history, and I try to put my emotions into that time frame of what was going on, the Revolutionary War. And then it would be, 1776 to 1865 is then when the Civil War would break out, because our economy, not the entire economy, but states, at least 7 of the Confederate states were dependent on slavery. So we have a very dark history of, thinking that we're better and owning other humans when we're not. And it was, a very horrible war. And I try to put my emotions in, like, how do you remain calm when there's strife and chaos and murder and war taking place around the world? And then as we progress, if you look through our history, there's just always wars. There's World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Iraq War. Now we have this war with Russia and Ukraine, which I predict will turn into a bigger conflict based on NATO, the global scale, possibly even a World War III without nuclear weapons. So we're always about conflict, right? We're always about conflict and chaos. And it's like, one, turn off your news cycle, get off social media and read more books, right? Read this book if you want, Between Worlds Reflections. It's my first co-authored book through Best American Psychics. And really, it's just about people have been fascinated with the phenomenon for centuries, what it truly means to be psychic, myself included. You know, if you would ask me 2 decades ago that I would be doing psychic work, intuitive work, mediumship, healing, life coaching, guidance, I would have said no, not in a million years. That wasn't even wasn't even in my forecast. So, you know, in the book, I talk about it's a collaboration of a team of professional psychics like myself who've been tested and validated many, many times. Because I wanted to be part of the best. If I was going to do this, I was going to be part of the best. And Best American Psychics and Best Psychic Directory are the two professional directories that I belong to. And then I belong to Ariel as a spiritual consultant. So, you know, I really talk about what it was, this transformation that I went through to understand the word psychic, which really means of the soul. It really is not about, I don't tell people their futures. I can give them, you know, markers along, you know, certain aspects that I might see, but your free will and choice will always dictate where you want to go based on your choices in life. You know, so I don't predict people's deaths. I don't diagnose. Now I am a medical intuitive, and I just did a reading the other day for a client based on medical intuitiveness. But I always have to use that disclaimer because I'm a certified healthcare provider, but I'm not a board certified doctor. I always have to, you know, say to them, please go to your board certified doctor or naturopath professionally, but we can talk about from an intuitive standpoint things that I'm picking up and things that you can do that are more of a natural state out in nature. Again, vibration, singing bowls. I offer Soundbaths now as part of my sessions here in Seattle. But one of my quotes that I have right up here comes from Abraham Lincoln, and it literally says the best part about our future is that it comes one day at a time. And so this one day at a time is trying to find yourself in the present moment. Right. And that can be very hard to do because there's so much going on. Social media, technology, the news cycle, your relationships, your bills, your career, your job, your family, the drama, friendships. I mean, the list just goes on and on. It becomes this very chaotic place to try to find peace in the chaos, right? It's trying to find the eye of the storm, you know, get to the eye of the storm because everything around you can be just out of whack or just chaotic, and you get to that center storm and everything's quiet and calm and peace. So one of the best lessons for today's episode is one of the best lessons that we can learn as life is how to master to remain calm. You know, the last, I'd say 10 months of my journey here in the physical world with my surgery and my transformation out of the federal government after 23 years and semi-retirement has been a lot of frustrations, a lot of unkindness by other people, a lot of things that I could really get angry and spun up about. But then I have to say, you know, take the time to disconnect so I can make time to reconnect, or practice the pause, right? Like stop, take a breath. And so when you learn to master how to remain calm, what happens is stress is the number one killer of us all. Stress leads us statistically to other diseases, which means disease of the body, disease of the mind. But stress is the number one catalyst, the external world, the material world that has an impact on your energy, your auric field, your mindset, how you talk, your actions, your thoughts, all of that. So when you can move into a format of being in the present moment, that's what it starts with, being in the present moment. How do you get in the present moment? You can just take a breath and go, right here, right now. And that's what a lot of had to do, because all of a sudden my ego jumps in and says, oh, what do you got to do? You got to do affidavits, Mark, for the next 4 days. What didn't you do? You got to go deliver your latest batch of lavender love to the stores. You know, that's all waiting to happen once this is over. But what you do is you pull yourself back into the present moment. And you can do that through the power of breath. Breath is probably one of the most beneficial things that we can do from a self-care standpoint, from a calming the mind, calming the nervous system, calming the adrenals, if you will. And if you can really start to learn to master remain calm, there's other modalities that we can use. Today, we'll do a little bit of soma breath work. I'll try to cue up a good song, or I'll just maybe do a meditation, through the voice of just my own voice. I'm not sure which way we're going to go yet. But you can pray. Prayer is about thought going out. Meditation, like I said, sitting on the meditation mat, just sitting and listening back, connecting. Lao Tzu and Rumi always talked about the more silent and still you become, the more you can actually hear. And so that helps with the calmness. The breath work, breathing in through the nose, which is the right way to breathe, because the nose is built as a filtering system, right? It has your nose hairs. It actually, as the air passes through the nasal passage, it actually warms the air up and then circulates down into the lungs. If you're mouth breathing, you're going right to the lungs and you're bypassing the filtering system. So if you just understand how filtering systems work, whether it's in your hot tub or your water system or your pool, this is your filter system, and you want to take advantage of that. And so what you do is you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And just through a series of repetitions, you can find that your mind actually will calm down and your body will release some of the stress or the tension or the tightness that it's experiencing, because your body reacts to the external material world. That's why we incarnate and we vibrate at a certain frequency from young age, as we get older. And so when you can remain calm and you've mastered that, you can do, like I said, breath work, prayer, meditation, qigong, just feeling your own qi. Qigong is the mother of Tai Chi. This is usually when I wake up, I'll actually activate my energy. I'll actually activate more auric field. And qigong has over 5,000 different modalities of just how you use your emotion in your physical body with your energy, right? And so there can be a lot of benefits to that. There's also, a nice Epsom salt bath, float tank, good quality music, vibrational sound baths, like I said, chanting. There's ancient forms of chanting. I subscribe to the Sufi tradition of chanting, which is based on the chakras of the human body. So these are all things that you can start to incorporate. But the first thing I do every morning when I wake up, my eyes open and I'm back in the physical world, because I have a lot of dreamscapes and a lot of astral travels when I'm sleeping. Especially when I was on the narcotics. My goodness, from the back surgery, these narcotics that I was on for several weeks to help with the pain, just some of the dreams are just crazy. That's why I don't really, I know narcotics are there for a reason, to help you recover and rehabilitate and pain management. But man, I could tell when I was on the narcotics, it would just take me, my dreamscapes were just really freaky dreams, right? Because there's a lot going on in the brain, right? And we know that the brain, as Einstein had always stated, that this 3-pound object in our head is one of the most complex systems in the entire solar system, right? And so we know through the power of prayer, thought going out, meditating, listening back, connecting to what is unseen, it can really calm you and it can really help you to master the storm. It can, because you're the captain of your own ship and you decide, do you want to steer your ship into the iceberg, or do you want to move away from the iceberg? Do you want to go down with your ship, or do you want to be a good captain with strong sea legs and keep moving forward, even though rough seas create strong sailors, right? That's why I have my navigation. This is always about finding my true north and where my true north is. And so again, the lesson for today, if you can remain calm and learn to master that through practices, through modalities, your nervous system and your overall health is going to get better, is what I would say. Self-care is so important. And like I said, stress is the number one killer of us all, because it leads to other things. So let me get over to the Facebook page. I want to read 7 sentences I wish I'd read sooner. I wanted to share that with you. And then we'll do some reading. So if you got a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, go ahead and grab that. Let me get over into the Facebook page here and give some shout outs. Again, good morning to my administrators that keep the comments clean, keep the community positive here on social media. Like I said, get off social media, start reading more books. I use social media platforms now just as a way to connect and community and to offer, to be in service to help people. But I really don't really follow a lot of people on social media anymore. It's kind of changed over the years. And definitely, reading more books, playing more, guitar, learning Spanish, those types of things. But, if you're one of my Patreon prospectors, good morning to you, or good afternoon, or good evening. If you're one of my Diamonds Hub subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. That's $4.99 a month. And my Patreon, you can choose different memberships and you get access. Like last Friday was Diamonds Days, where you actually could call in and not via Facebook, but via Zoom. And those pages have specific links where you can come in and twice on that Friday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, then again at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because it reaches more people. And I had a couple people that came in and had some questions and needed some guidance. So that's one of the benefits of being either the Diamond Sub subscriber or the Patreon Prospector, because you get those first Fridays of every month, the Diamonds Day, where we can have a conversation, Q&A community, if you will. And I get everything from numerology to mediumship to psychic. And I've been doing a lot more mediumship services too. So it's nice to be back in the mix of doing mediumship as a spiritualist through the SNU. I'm now doing online services throughout the week and on the weekends, and I have a couple of services coming up. And we speak and we demonstrate mediumship and the survival of life after death. It's quite fascinating. So it's good to be back and, not fully healed yet, not fully recovered yet, but making slow progress. And, progress, regardless, is progress, whether you move it like a snail or move like a rabbit, right? It's about moving forward and always keep moving forward. But, it's really just also practicing everything I'm just talking about if you want to, master the ability to remain calm in certain situations. And it just seems to me, and I said, if you followed my work or my podcast, Inspired Living, you can go back and listen to how I said the Roaring '20s were going to be very transformative. This decade was going to be very transformative. There was going to be a lot of conflict and chaos and dissension and transformation through technology, through robotics, through AI, through politics, through even possible civil war, Third World War. Again, I don't really get into the doom and gloom. I really try to find the good in the day, but it doesn't take away from the things I see coming down the pike as a psychic, right? To know the soul, which means the psychic means literally of the soul, and seeing what's in this world and what's in the unseen world. And again, it's a reminder, just because we don't see it does not mean that it is not here and around us. And again, science would prove that statement based on the microscope, the telescope, the Hubble telescope, the James Webb telescope. Things every day are transforming based on what we thought we knew, which is only about 4% of proven scientific method in mathematics. That's 96% we just still don't understand, including, the awareness. And at some point, we're going to realize that we're not the only species here on the planet that's intelligent or possibly more intelligent or out in the universe, little green men, if you want. That will happen. That's slowly that drip, drip, drip that I talk about if you follow my work. So, it's just a great way to connect if you're on the subscribers list. Again, you can get all the information here at marclainhart.com. You can get my latest podcast. This last week, I talked about religion and spirituality. Is there a difference? And if you're not sure, or you have questions, or you have conflict within yourself, go listen to that podcast. You can get the podcast wherever you find or listen to your favorite podcast. We stream on all the platforms now. And I just kind of spent, an hour breaking down the differences between the two, because is there a difference? Yes, there's a huge difference. And, not to take away from your religious journey, because you can incorporate and crosswalk from the religious aspects into your spiritual toolbox and vice versa. But I just break down in the latest podcast about the difference between religion and spirituality. And how do I know? Because I've done both. I started off in the first half of my life brought up in religious doctrine and dogmas and a hierarchy. And then at the age of 27 with that I talk about many times, the loss of my brothers, my father-in-law, the trauma and tragedy, the TNT that blew my life up at 27, that then switched me over to more of a spiritual pathway. And so, there is a big difference between the two. I'm not a religious holy roller. I don't tell you who God is. I know that there is a God. I know that there is a presence and a love and intelligence greater than myself. But for me to try to define to you who God is versus what I've read in one of the many books that I've read or scripture, and I've studied, the top 10 religions around the world. I can't tell you, because it's based on a perspective. It's your own. The spirituality becomes your own soul journey, your own perspective, if you will. A lot of times we say, if you have a experience, whether it's a phenomenon or paranormal or just an amazing experience, and you talk about it, people look at you like you've gone insane or you're a little crazy. But if you put it down and write it down in a book and let the book, sit on a shelf for 200, 300, 2,000 years, it becomes part of religious doctrine, right? And so maybe my shows in the future will be classified by some zealots as a new religion of, the intuitive prospector. I don't know. Because the intuitive prospector is the name of my business, but it's, over time I've realized it's a concept, the concept of using your own intuition, because I believe everybody has intuition, and prospecting for the world that's around you, the many diamonds and gems and unknowns and mysteries of the world, to prospect what's right for you, but also to prospect for what's within, the diamond within, because we know diamonds are created under extreme pressures, and there's a lot of pressures that we've gone through in life. So the intuitive prospectors is my business name, but it's also a concept in which I teach on, to find the diamond within, dare to dream, dare to explore, dare to live, and discover that diamond within, if you will. So I'm over on the Facebook channel now, so let me give some shout outs to everybody. I hope you're having a happy and healthy Friday with whatever you're doing and whatever you're going through. So good morning to Layla Ka. Good morning, Jane. Thanks for being here. Hi, Wendy. Good morning to you. Good morning to my mom. Good morning. Good morning, Carrie. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. So what we'll do is we're going to do, again, today's message is about how to master your calmness, how to master, one of the best lessons that I have found is if we can master how to remain calm, your situations will change drastically. Your health will change drastically. I can tell you personally, since the surgery, before the surgery, pre-surgery, we didn't know that my spine had collapsed. Had no idea until the actual surgeon got in there and realized that my L4, L5 was completely bone on bone. There was no more, there wasn't even a herniation. It was completely, they had to open me up and pound a half-inch spacer in. But pre-surgery, I didn't know that, right? The MRI didn't show that. It just showed deterioration. The x-rays didn't show that. And I had put on a lot of weight because I wasn't, the situation I was going in with the transfer and the end of my federal career, and the abuses that were, coming my way from that, the unkindness, the bullying, the discrimination. That was a very hard thing to go through. And I wasn't mastering how to remain calm. I was letting it get to me, anger, anxiety, depression. And I got to a point where I got in weight. I got well over 300 pounds. I have never been that heavy in my life because I just had no desire to work out. Plus I had no strength. And just every time I'd work out, I'd be just for days, I'd be sore. And now that I'm gone through this very life-changing surgery and I've lost almost 50 pounds, getting down to a weight number I haven't seen in several years. And even the surgeon said, you probably should have had this surgery 3 years ago. There was, years of going through these challenges and changes, which we all go through. That's just part of life. But again, it's how you navigate it. And my mantra during this process of transformation and weight loss and back surgery was to tell myself that this isn't happening to me, this is happening for me. And the two become, when you say, oh, this is happening to me, you become that victim mentality, your mindset goes, and that doesn't help you to remain calm. But if you focus and say, this is happening for me, you realize that the calmness comes with that just based on your words and your thoughts, and how you focus determines your reality and how you move forward. And so, one of the things that I'd share with you, and these are 7 sentences I wish I'd read sooner to help with your journey of how to remain calm in the storms and chaos of life, is these hard times, this pain, these lessons, one day, they'll be your strength, your awareness, and your blessings. And that's what I found to be true today. Now, if you would ask me a year ago, I probably would have disagreed because I was in a very unhappy, unhealthy, overweight period of my life, and I wasn't remaining calm. So I can talk about this because I've worked through them. I've done the work. I've done the transformation. I've gone from the butterfly from the caterpillar to the butterfly, and it's not an easy path. And that's what I help people with today. Not just doing readings and consulting, but stop expecting honesty from people who lie to themselves is another sentence that really kind of resonated with me. Stop expecting honesty from people who lie to themselves. And there's a lot of people out there that lie to themselves, which is always fascinating to watch. You'll never look good trying to make someone look bad. You'll never look good. You may at a point, but in the long term, and that doesn't help with your kindness and your compassion and your remaining calm if you're trying to make other people look bad. And that's the world we live in. Even just watching this series called Manhunt, as they were trying to find John Wilkes Booth, who had assassinated Abraham Lincoln. Just the politics and just behind the scenes of making things go from a legal standpoint to the end of the Civil War. It's quite fascinating. Just the chaos and the yuckiness of how we can treat each other as people, as humans. Save your explanations for those that are determined to understand you. Give your silence to those that are determined to misunderstand you. And that's such a powerful sentence and a reminder for all of us, because when I started to move years ago from my religious beliefs and background to a more spiritual format for me, and again, this is my choice. This isn't, I don't try to, religion's a lot of time is competitive. Like, if you don't believe what I believe and the doctrine I believe, yours is wrong, right? You're right, I'm wrong. Spirituality is not, because it encompasses everything. It encompasses all, accepts all, right? That's the power of spiritualism. But when I started to, talk about the abilities that unfolded and started open because of the trauma that I went through with the loss of my brothers and my father-in-law and my grandmother, who I was very, very close to, I was trying to explain myself, and I had a lot of relationship changes, family, friends, longtime friends, people that were like, oh, that's too weird for me, or a lot of judgment, a lot of opinion, right? And that's fine, but it's a reminder to save your explanations for those that are determined to understand you. And since then, I've come into a lot of contact with great colleagues and friends in my spiritual development group, tribe, and people that have been with me for years, because they're determined to try to understand me, but also understand the journey that they're going through, the awakening, if you will, of what they've gone through. But give your silence to those that are determined to misunderstand you. And I had a lot of people that misunderstood me, and I tried to explain it, but it was like, no, it's just like talking to a wall, including some family members, where I had to say, you know what, I'll just give you silence. I still love you from a distance, but the silence is where I want to go, because you'll never understand. And a lot of times people won't understand until they've gone through it themselves, right? Your life is too short to be unhappy 5 days a week in exchange for 2 days of freedom. Now, we pay to live here. We're the only species that pays to live here. I think in the years ahead, that's going to change quite drastically, especially as technology improves, robotics comes alive, AI is happening, whether you like it or not. It is a real deal. And that's going to take away from jobs. That's going to open up new industries for jobs, just like the Industrial Revolution did. But the uncertainty of, do I need to work more? Do I have to have these jobs? There might be even a conversation about universal income at some point, right? But life is too short to be unhappy for those 5 days a week. And I found that with the job that I previously had, excuse me, very unhappy. The work was not uplifting at all. Even though we were, I hope, in my mindset, the mission was to help our veterans, but the work was very diminishing. Work was very just showing up to get a paycheck, really. And that did, for me, life is too short. And what I've gone through and what I've experienced and understood was I need to make a change. And the universe worked with me, the spirit world, the universe, those that reside on the other side of this veil, the etheric, worked with me to make things line up as they should, not without any, energy or without any desire to have that. So don't be upset from people you don't respect. Life is not tiring. Wanting life to be a certain way, but not having the confidence to make it that way is tiring. So those are 7 sentences I wish I'd read sooner, to help you with your journey and to help with the journey of mastering how to remain calm. Again, one of the best lessons that I've learned up to this point in my 50 plus years here is life is chaotic, life is crazy, life is uncertain, life is always changing. So if you can find yourself in the magic of the moment, find that and learn how to remain calm in times of chaos. And you can do that through breath work, like I said. And so what we'll do is we'll get ready for some Soma breath work, and I'll cue up a song, and then we'll do some readings if you like. I can take your questions. Let me get the Zoom link real quick, and I'll paste that into the chat function or the comment section. Where are we? Invite. There we go. Facebook, where you at here? So look for the avatar. If my team is on, my moderators, again, thanks for just making the community positive and uplifting and inspiring. We don't want to get. So look for the avatar. If my team is on, my moderators, thanks for just making cut the sound out there. So I'll put the Zoom link in if in a little bit here. I'll open up the Zoom room if you want to come in and have a chat. That's fine. We had a person come in last week. I dedicated last week to a former subscriber. Well, not former. She was a subscriber, and she always participated with my Fridays, my Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, and when my schedule changed to because of my past career to Fridays, which I enjoy Fridays even more now. She made her transition to spirit from cancer, and I dedicated last week's show to her. So she will be missed because she would sometimes come in and we'd have a chat and coffee, and you can ask me anything. We can do mediumship. I just have to remind you the caveat that I work for the spirit world. They don't work for me. It doesn't work that way. So I can't always guarantee who or what information will come through, and that's why you have to come into the Zoom room, because I used to do it via the chat and the comments, and it was just didn't work at all. It was very clunky. I did bring my phone today, so you can contact me on my business line if you want to call me, if you don't want to come in on Zoom, and I'll put that number as well in the chat function. Let's just do that right now. And let's start getting ready for some breath work called Soma breath work. And I'll take you through this. We'll do some music, and you can practice this and just see. We'll do a before and after just to see where you're at and see if it works with helping you to manage your calmness, your mindset, your energy, your auric field. Because again, everything is reactive and everything is connected. And like I always remind y'all, you have 3 eyes in life: 2 to look, 1 to see, the 3rd eye here. And so your breath work can really stimulate this here to open up things that are not seen with the physical eye, but more felt or known, or when I mean felt or seen here in the mind, that type of thing. It's working with your clairs, nothing new. These are very ancient, have been around for a long time. So I'll put the business line. Let's see here. I'll put phone if you want to call me on the phone now, because I remembered. You can do that. And eventually, 206-588-0661. That is my Intuitive Prospector business line, and that's in the comment section now as well. And hopefully, now that I'm back up and working and doing readings and services, I'm going to try. I've been thinking about this for a long time. I'm going to try to put an evening session together called Experience the Etheric. It's the ABCs of spirituality. It's the attunement, the blending, and the connections and conversations that we can have. And I'm hoping to do that on maybe a Monday night or a Tuesday night, and actually have people come in. It's free, but just to help people with that. So let's see who else we got here. Good morning, Tara. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. So let's get ready for this Soma breath work. I'm going to cue up some music here. Let's get to, so just so you know, the music that I use is always copyright free, trademark free, royalty free. So the Better Place was one of the songs you heard by Peter McConnell. I always like to call out the people because they don't make a lot of money doing this. So if you want to check that out. And then somebody was asking me, who was asking me for the song Grateful. Grateful is by The Wave, W-A-V is the name of the group. And then the other song, what did we play? Medicine Mountain, Ripple Effect. So we open up with the Ripple Effect, fun song, and that's by Spence Quality is the artist. But all of my music, whether here it's on Facebook Live or my YouTube channel, you can go over my YouTube channel. There's new shows streaming over there on Fridays as well. They usually start around 11 a.m. And of course, the podcast is over there, and a couple different, paranormal investigations, some shows I've done in the past. But let's get to a place where we can just do a nice meditation here. Music, and then what we'll do is we'll practice breath work, Soma breath work. If you're not familiar with it, it's S-O-M-A, Soma breath work. I learned about this during my counseling and my grieving and biofeedback and all my journeys. So meditation. And again, all of these songs have already been approved by Meta, so they don't get, otherwise they mute you, right? That's what they'll do. Sorry, my internet's being a little slow today. And I'll just kind of pick something, holding on to a dream. Let's look for a good, and again, I've just pulled up through Meta. I've got this sound collection that's approved by Meta. And I'm just going to play something that has about 4 minutes or so. Table Shahi and Table on a Mountaintop. This is more, the genre is Indian. Let's see what that sounds like. Now, what's something that's the Forest of Healing? What does this sound like? Okay, I like that one. So we'll do the Forest of Healing. The group, the composer is called Symphonic Planet. And what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through this, and then we'll do some readings and connections after we come back. But what I want you to do, and again, this is something that I usually practice every single day. I wake up, I say thank you, I'm grateful, because there's 50,000 souls every day on average that do not wake up or make their transition to the next journey, right? So I start with gratitude and attitude for gratitude. That helps my calmness. Again, today's message and lessons about how to master your calmness. And the breath word, I believe in it so much, that's my latest tattoo. That is the oldest Sanskrit for breath. The journey of breath in with the filled in triangle to the exhalation, because what is the first thing we do when we incarnate into physical form? We take that divine breath. And then it's usually followed by a nice big cry, like, what the hell am I doing back here, right? And then as we get older, or maybe sometimes not older, sometimes, you incarnate maybe for a few days, a few weeks, a few months, a few years, and then you transition back and decarnate. You exhale, right? So it's a breath, a series of breaths throughout your life, that little dash between, I came into the world in 1972. I've got that dash. When is my end year? No one knows, and no one's ever guaranteed to know that. But that little breath, or that little dash on your tombstone, represents all the breaths that you took, right? And you got to think, previous to that, you were breathing liquid, right? In the womb, you were alive, your heart's beating, you're breathing, liquid, and then you come out and you breathe air, and then eventually this physical flesh suit falls away, and your energy and your love and your memory and your mannerisms continue on into a new format. And so breath can be very, very powerful in helping you to calm your mind, calm your adrenals, your nervous systems. If you suffer for any kind of PTSD or depression or anxiety, things that I have long worked through and overcome in my journey of transformations and healing and forgiveness, this can be quite beneficial. And what we're going to do is I want you just to examine right now. I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to turn this music on. And what you're going to do is you want to turn off any distractions. Murphy's Law, when you try to meditate, and I found this so many times. Hi, Leo. Hi, Katie. Good. Thanks for being here. We're just getting ready, getting us ready just for a little bit of metaphysical meditation on a Friday. And what you can do is if you set the intent, and then I'm going to turn my volume down when I'm thinking about it. So my volume's off right now. But when you go to get into a meditation, you start, you get in the first few minutes, your body starts to fidget. The mind wants to think about what's ahead or what's behind. Come back to the breath. If you find that you're going off down the rabbit hole, come back to your breath. And again, the breath is coming in through the nose, filtering in down to the lungs. Make it very focused, very mindful. And what'll happen is if you don't put stuff down, uncross everything, put your legs on the ground. I'll kick off, I got my slippers on right now, but I'll kick them off. And just get connected to Mother Earth, get connected to my surroundings. And then I ask myself to come to the present moment, turn off any distractions, because I guarantee Murphy's Law, you get in about 2 minutes in and something's going to try to get your, turn off any alerts, you'll get a ping, or it's so funny how the distractions of life doesn't help us to get to that place of silence and stillness. And again, these are ancient quotes that I'm using. The more silent and still you become, the more you will actually hear. For some of you, that makes sense. For some of you, you're like, what is he talking about? And for others, you're like, I have no idea. So the only way to do it is your own experience, to practice this, to tune in, to blend, to connect, to have awareness to your own breath. And so what you're going to do, hi, Jody. Good to see you, Jody. How are you? Hope you're doing well, my friend. What we're going to do is I'm going to turn my camera off. I'm going to put a nice picture up, and we're going to play this song. But I want you to examine how you feel right now. Maybe you're tense, maybe you're tight, maybe you're uncertain, maybe you're just in a state of chaos. And I want you to look at your mindset. How is your mindset? What are your thoughts right now as you're tuning in with me on this Friday? How are you thinking? Because thoughts become words, words become actions, actions become behaviors, behaviors become destiny, right? It's all connected. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to practice a series of taking a breath in to the count of 6. Okay, so for some of you that might be a long time, but you're going to count in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to, halfway through the song, I want you to try to up your count to 8. So you're going to take a breath in, count to 6. When you get to 6, hold your breath for 6 seconds. And when you're holding, you can actually squeeze and tense up. It's called tension release meditation. So if you have areas of your body, for me, it's going to be my low back, but I just had major surgery, right? So when I'm doing this with you, I'll be breathing in 6, I'll hold 6, and I'll actually squeeze down into my pelvis area, my buttocks, my low stomach. I'll squeeze that and I'll release. And after the 6 seconds, so we're going to do 6, 6, 6, 6, not anything to do with the mark of the devil. That's all bullshit. I don't know why I'm recording this. You don't need to record this. Stop recording. The whole 666 is a whole nother conversation. That's just ignorance. So don't, just because we're doing 4 6s has nothing to do with the devil or mark of the beast. That's just BS. So in for 6, hold for 6, blow out for 6, hold again for 6. And so we're going to do that a couple times. This song is about 4 minutes. At the 2-minute mark, you'll hear me say, try to take it to 8. So you'll breathe in for 8. You'll hold for 8. You'll blow out for 8. You'll hold for another 8. And then you'll just repeat. So in, hold, out, hold. We'll do 6 seconds. Halfway through the song, we'll go to 8 seconds. And then when we come back from the meditation, when we come back from the forest of healing, because we're going to go, if you love nature like I do, as a spiritist, one of our foundations is nature. And if you look at the word forest, it literally breaks apart as for rest, right? It's probably nature's greatest Wi-Fi. I always say my religion is nature. So as we're going through this forest of healing, practice breath in for 6, hold for 6, blow out for 6, hold for 6. Halfway through, we'll go to 8. And then when we come back, I want you to share with me, maybe your mindset has changed. Maybe your calmness has really felt, different, or your thoughts are different, or your focus is different, or your body's feeling a little bit more relaxed. Just let me know how you're feeling, because this is breath work. And breath work is one of the biggest things I found. It doesn't cost anything, at least not yet. It's something that you can do, and you can do it on your own anytime, 365, 24/7. You don't have to pay people a bunch of money. And it's something that was introduced to me, both Soma breath work and cold therapy, Wim Hof breath work. And I found them to be quite beneficial and healthy and transformative, but also to help you with keeping your mindset calm. And that's today's message, is how to master the many pathways of life and the chaos of life to remain calm on those journeys. So hi, Victoria. Hi, Alexa. Hi. Is it Gavita? Gavita? I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I apologize. I'm not the best with names. Jody's saying, hey, they're grateful to be here with all of you. All right. So for those of you that are watching, those of you who are here, again, let's go ahead and set the intent. I believe in the laws of physics and psychic, that energy will follow your intention. And again, when you start to set intentions, you can start to manifest. And again, if you want to start unlocking the secrets of this universe and all the uncertainties and unknowns and mysteries, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. I'm going to share my desktop with you so you can have good quality sound. I will go off camera. And again, we're going to do the first 2 minutes doing 6, 6, 6, 6, 6 in, hold 6, blow out 6, hold 6. And then halfway through, you'll hear me say shift to 8 seconds to try to count up to 8. And then we'll come back and have a conversation. But enjoy this moment of connection, of community, of compassion for yourself. Self-care is so very important, especially in today's uncertainty. So I appreciate you all being here with me on this Friday, and I hope that you find some benefit from this 4-minute exercise in Soma breath work, healing, and transformation. Enjoy. Go ahead and now start setting your intentions. Move to your breath. Become aware of your breath. Shut your brain off. Ask your brain to just step outside for the next 4 to 5 minutes. Make sure you turn off all any distractions. And enjoy the forest of healing. Again, breathe it in 6 seconds in through your nose. Hold, hold, hold. Breathe out 6 seconds. Hold for 6 seconds. and start to make your way back now. And just sit for a second and tune in to how you feel. Do you feel more of a sense of calmness, a sense of peace, a sense of connection, a sense of understanding? These are all the benefits of the power of breath and breath exercises, breath mantras, breath intentions. And it just helps you to master, the calmness in the chaos of life. So hi, Estella. Victoria says, good morning, all you beautiful souls. Yes, all of you beautiful souls. Good morning. Nikki, good morning. Hi, Colleen. So thanks for being here. Today, message is something that came up during my meditation. I find that one of the best lessons that we can learn in life is how to master, how to remain calm. And how do we do that? Meditation, prayer, breath work, mantras, chanting, sound baths, reading, nature, salt baths, floating. The list just goes on and on. And I hope that you'll start to become that student to master the many lessons that life throws at us. So that's today's message for Metaphysical Meetup with Marc. I hope that you're having a fantastic Friday and enjoying these summer heat waves. It's been very hot here in Seattle, but I'm not complaining. I love it. And if you have a question now, we'll go ahead and get into some Q&A. The phone number is out there on the Facebook comments section. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the page, please do so. If you want to learn more about what I do, how I got here, you can go to marclainhart.com. Check out my new book, Between Worlds. That's actually called Reflections. My hair's getting long. I'm going to start putting it into a ponytail here at some point. So Reflections Between Worlds. I love this, because if you turn it upside down, I talked about this in an interview I did this week. It's like, wait, is it upside down or is it right side up? Or if we do side, it looks like wings, right? So you can get the book, you can get the latest podcast. If you want to book a reading, you can do that all at marclainhart.com or just internet search the concept, the intuitive prospector. So we'll get into your questions. Again, the business line is out there now. I did bring it. Let me turn the volume up. I did turn it off during the meditation because I did, it would have been, somebody would have probably called or, just Murphy's Law. The Zoom link is also in there. Just look for the avatar. I should have put an avatar with my phone number. I forgot to do that. Can I still edit that? So if you have a question, go ahead and type that into the comment section, and I will do my best to try to see your question. Let's put an avatar with that. Is there a phone avatar do I have? Yeah, there it is. Let's do hello. Okay, so look for the two avatars for the Zoom link and for the business line. Again, the business line is area code 206. You have to check your, if you have long distance, I'm not sure, but it's area code 206-588-0661. International code is +44, I think, is for the United States. And then again, also the Zoom link is out there if you want to come in the Zoom link. So if you have any questions, go ahead and start asking them. If I miss your question, or you've asked a question sometime during the format of the show, just put bump with a star and then your question again. So just so I can, try to get to everybody. If you are a star sender, if you are a Patreon prospector or a Diamonds Hub subscriber, you'll jump right to the top of the list. So this is your opportunity to get some weekly guidance or intuition. Pull a card, tell me what card number you want, 1 through 14 today. Book reading, if you want some mediumship, come into the Zoom room. And like I said, I'm going to try to do some mediumship now that I'm back from this major life-changing surgery that I had. And I'm not sure exactly. I'm setting the intent, but it's going to be called Experience the Etheric. And it'll be in the evening time. So I don't know if I want to do it on a Monday evening, Tuesday evening, maybe Thursday evening. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out my schedule here. So Jody says, clarity gain, muddy mental, no more, restored. Also love that soundtrack you played. Yeah, the soundtrack, again, is approved through Meta. It's my sound collection, and it's called The Forest of Healing by the Symphonic Planet. So you'll want to look them up. That way I don't get muted in any of my YouTube or Facebook Lives because it's all copyright and trademark free and royalty free. So I'm glad that you're having some clarity. Hi, Diane. For those of you that did the Soma breath work just with, the 4 minutes with me, put in the comment section how you felt before and how you felt after. Did you notice a difference? Was it no difference? Was it BS? Did you find that your mind would, kind of chill out for those 4 minutes, or did you find that to be the longest 4 minutes of your life? And what happens with the beauty of Soma breath work, SOMA, is if you do it for a long period of time. And when I first did this, I actually was hooked up to a heart monitor and a pulse oximeter on my finger because I could actually track, they wanted to track through the biofeedback how the oxygen in your blood drops. And so most people, not everybody, resaturate our oxygen at about 98%, right? The exchange of oxygen to carbon dioxide, right? And when you do Soma breath work and you do it for a long period of time and you increase your ability to hold your breath, so you can, some of the breath work that exercise, none of my, you get to the point where you're like, I'm going to die. You're not going to die from holding breath. Okay. You'll may pass out, but you'll come to. But it gets to the point where we're going up to 30 seconds, 40 seconds, a minute, trying to breathe in, get a little sip in, right? And then you're holding for, you're counting down, and the mind just gets really, almost in a panic format. But what happens overall is the oxygen in your blood starts to drop. So when I would start my sessions, I would be, saturating at 98.6% saturation in my blood oxygen levels. When I was done after 20 minutes of a very intense session, I was dropped in all the way down to 90%, 91. I think the lowest I got was 90 or 89, right in that ballpark. But what happens is you put yourself into a state of hypoxia, right? And when you get into the state of this hypoxia, what that does is it relaxes the body, it relaxes the nervous system, it relaxes the adrenals, it relaxes the auric field, and most importantly, it relaxes your mind. And these are ways that you can really prospect for to help, master these lessons of remaining calm in times of great stress or chaos or uncertainty or trauma or grief or loss. I always look at the world and see all of the chaos that's going on. And then I think about the people that are experiencing them personally, the war of Russia and Ukraine, for example, what's going on in Israel, global events, what's going on here locally with our homeless population and people that have addiction. And I just think, man, how are they feeling with all of this? How are they powering through or not powering through, right? So Soma breathwork can be very helpful in your journey to help remain calm, but also a lot of good self-care and definitely have you move into healthiness versus disease, which is broken down to dis-ease. So, all right. So any questions for me? Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. What about Friday? That's right. So again, if you have questions, go ahead and either give me a call. Business line is in the comment section, or come into the Zoom room. I'd love to chat with you, and see if I can help you, guide you, whatever you need, versus just a comment. And again, if it is a comment, it's fine. I'll still work with you. So for example, Victoria says, can I please have a color card for the week? Just located to Phoenix. It's hot down there. Our good friends, our BFFs just moved. They just finished their road trip, and they're down in Arizona, Surprise, Arizona. But yeah, Phoenix just set a new temperature, like 116 degrees. That's hot. And experienced our first haboob last night. Exciting new beginnings. Love it, Victoria. I'm happy for you, and I'm happy to pick a color card for you. So when we're interacting in the comment section, just a little bit how this works. We've kept the community clean and positive. We haven't gotten a lot of clickbaiters or trolls or people that spam. If they do come in, if I catch them, you'll be blocked and escorted out, or if my moderators catch them, you'll be reported, blocked, and escorted out of the community and won't be able to come back. So just don't do it. But we've been pretty good as of late. So it's nice to not see all that spam. It's like getting a spam call on your phone, right? It's like, stop spamming me. At least now I know. Back in the day, if you picked up the phone, that took courage, because you didn't know who was on the other end of the line, because there was no technology to tell you who was calling, right? And then we had caller ID. And now today's phone, I get so many spam calls because my number is listed publicly, my business line, and it comes up as spam, and I just block and delete, right? So we do the same thing here with social media. So how this works when we're working with the cards, you can pick 1 through 14, or if there's a deck specific that you want, nature, flowers, roomy. Victoria's picked the color deck. What we do, and Katie, you're on deck. Going to lay on the floor, and then my dog thought it was playtime. Test for calmness for sure. Okay, so there was that distraction, the dog. Animals are always so interesting when it comes to time of breath work and meditation and prayer because they pick up on that signal. They actually are very sensitive to the unseen world, Katie. So I love that. So Victoria, just so I know that people are still hanging out and connected online. We work now into the quantum mentality. And what that means is we're not together in person, but we can work together in the digital space, in the quantum, because that's how we're moving. That's how we're evolving. So Victoria, when you hear the word stop in your mind, type it on the keyboard, hit enter, and that's the color card that I will pick for you. And I'll shuffle on my end. Hi, Juan not Nachos. Hello. Thanks for coming on. Hope you're doing well. And again, thanks to all my subscribers, Patreon prospectors, Diamond Hub subscribers, star senders. I really appreciate you all. And again, big shout out to all of you who've subscribed to my YouTube channel. You put us over 20,000 subscribers in just a small span of like 4 months, ever before I went right into my surgery in April. So I'm not sure what happened, but I appreciate it. So you can catch out the shows here. You can catch my podcast, Inspired Living, wherever you get your favorite podcast. And just waiting for Victoria to tell me when to stop, and that's the card we'll pick. Because what you're doing is you're using your intuition and your energy and your choice to say, stop. Perfect. All right. So the card that we stopped on, oh, I love this, the gold. I love gold. Who doesn't love gold, right? This is one of the most valuable resources from the planet Earth. And it says about attracting abundance for you today, Victoria. So attract abundance through the power of gold. It can be just even gold-colored clothes, gold-colored rings, jewelry. Put that on you. And with your mindset, start to attract this abundance. Now, the 21 over here, the 21 is interesting because it represents a couple different things from the numerology standpoint, Victoria. So the 2 represents being at peace with what is currently going on. 1 is independence. It's your individual journey. And then the 2 plus the 1 adds up to 3, which is about creative expression type of energy. So make sure that you incorporate all 3 of those things: peace, your individuality, and do something that you love to do and express yourself this day or this weekend, going into next week, because it's just going to help with the attracting abundance as well. So thank you for your question. Again, you can pick, the phone is available now. The Zoom room is open, and you can type in the comment section if you'd like a card, a reading, a book passage, an inspiration, a prayer. I'll hold space for you. I'll pray for you. I'll meditate for you. You can always hold space for other people regardless of their situations. Hair's getting long. You can almost put it into a ponytail. It's getting there. All right. Hi, D. Swan. Hi, Elena Flores. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And then after today's, when we're done here in about a half hour, I'm going to head out. I've put together my first summer batch of Lavender Love. So with everything that I do now, including writing and podcasting and doing readings either online or here in the studio, I create my own Lavender Love. It's from my garden. It's all organic. You can get the ingredients are right here on the back. And what this is great for is I deliver this actually to the Thriftways here locally in West Seattle. I've been on contract with them for a couple of years now. And I just got a request that the 15 bottles that I did in the spring have all been sold. And so they wanted another 15 bottle order. So I put that together, and of course, topped off. If you ever stay with us at Hotel Lainhart, we have bottles of Lavender Love, and it's great for shifting the energy. It's great for the auric. It's great for aromatherapy. You can put it in a diffuser. You can put it in your bath. I just like to spray it. And this is another way to help shift to that calmness that I was talking about. And it's called Lavender Love. If you're ever interested, you can get it offline. And I do make it personally. So, okay. So let's see here. Elena, you bet. May I please get a card? Elena, let me challenge you. What number would you like? Pick a number, my friend, 1 through 14. And then that way we can, I'll pick the deck for you based on the number, and then we'll go through the stop format. Victoria says, perfect. I love it. So much love to you, my friend. Right back at you, Victoria. Thanks for being here on Friday and hanging out and just having fun and just, connecting, community, connection, kindness, compassion. This is what I try to do. This is the ripple effect that I try to put out. Jody says, Mark, how is your recovery coming along? So you went to second deck. Oh, okay. So second deck is the totem animal spirit deck here. Okay. Jody, I'm doing good. I'm doing really well. I had a lift of my spine, a 1/2 inch lift, and then fusion with 4 screws and 2 brackets, all 3D printed titanium back in April. I'm doing really well. I have my days. I'm still tight, but it was needed because my spine had completely collapsed. But I'm doing really well. So swimming a lot, starting to even get back on the basketball court. My wife and I went for a 1.5 mile walk this morning. I've lost almost 50 pounds. So I'm doing really good. So thank you for asking, my friend. How are you? All right, Elena, let's go ahead and set the intention. I'll start shuffling. When you hear the word stop in your mind, Elena Flores, go ahead and type stop, hit enter, and that's the card we'll talk about. It's the totem animal, so it's going to be animals for you today. And I'll just watch the comment section. And then this is how we work at the quantum level. We're working through the digital space, if you will. Like you being here and having a reading. And I am standing taller, literally. I got back to 6 foot, Jody. Literally, I got a 1/2 inch back. Remeasure it after the surgery, and I was at 6 foot. So the spacer was a 1/2 inch titanium, 3D printed titanium with cadaver, cartilage, and muscle through it to help with the healing when they insert it. They had to pound it in and stop. Perfect. Thank you, Elena. So they actually had to pound it because, like I said, the vertebrae was completely collapsed on itself. All right, the gray wolf, Elena, the gray wolf. This is the totem animal deck. This is one of the newer decks that I have. And the gray wolf, do you resonate with the gray wolf at all? Is that anything that would make sense to you? I have to look this one up. I have not pulled this one, so that's why I'm asking if you resonate with gray wolf. Excuse me. So it says the gray wolf power comes from the understanding the intricacies of our bonds with each other. Watch wolf whispers, let word and speech become background babble, and instead focus on the eyes and twitching muscles in the jaw. So again, this is the gray wolf. Let's put it right here so you can see it. This is how you learn whom to trust, how you learn who leads. Play and tend, wolf reminds. This is how you build the bonds of tribe, a sense of wholeness. Wolf knows that you are shimmering thread in a larger tapestry, part of the integral weaving of family and community. Understanding social dynamics and how to play them is the wolf's special medicine. So like I said, I have not pulled this card, and I'm working with 14 decks, so I hope you all don't expect me to know every single card out of 14. That's 14 out here that you see, but there's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like close to 20 decks over the years that have been given to me by friends and colleagues and fans. So this card, the gray wolf, pay attention to anything to do with the wolf too, because I firmly believe, Elena, and I don't know if you believe this or not, but I talked about this many times, the power of 3. And how some of the best evidence comes after the reading or the intention. So pay attention to see if anything comes up from the wolf aspect, or you see a wolf, or you hear about the wolf, or for example, when we were getting our coffee today after our walk, we stopped at the coffee shop. Duran Duran was playing, and it was "Hungry Like the Wolf," right? So it's that kind of synchronicity or coincidence that can come up to remind you about the intricacies of life, but who you trust, and also surround yourself with a good, wolf pack, a good tribe, a family or friends. So I hope that helps. That message helps. But yeah, I was just thinking that "Hungry Like the Wolf," and then after that, it was like they must have had a Duran Duran soundtrack because we were waiting. So it was "Hungry Like the Wolf" was just finishing up, then it was Rio, and then it was the Reflex. So for the Duran Duran fans in the 1980s, those were huge songs during my time. But pay attention, because I do believe that some of the best information can come after the connection, or after the intention, after the reading. And Einstein talked about this all the time. The synchronicities, the coincidences are God's way of remaining anonymous. Again, whoever or whatever God is for you. I've stopped subscribing and trying to tell people what God is, because I don't know. And I just lay it out like a smorgasbord or a spiritual buffet. You pick and choose what you like. And if you don't like what I'm saying, that's okay. We can agree to disagree. So, but we can still come from a place of kindness and compassion for one another. And that's really what I'm trying to teach as we move forward into the second half of our Roaring 20s. All right. Any other questions for today? If not, I have a date with Thriftway to drop off my summer batch of lavender love. And then I get to work on affidavits. Fun. Fun, fun, fun. Again, you can call in. And please don't feel intimidated. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel shy. Come into the Zoom room. We'll put you in the waiting room. Give me a call, 206-588-0661. That's my business line. We can have a chat. I can do mediumship over the phone. That's fine, as long as I can hear your voice. Yes, no, I'm not sure. Or post a question in the comments section. So I'll give it about 1 more minute. And if we don't have any more questions, or I missed your question, put bump with a star and then your question again. And we can we can go on our merry way. So let me pick a song while I'm waiting. Diamonds on the Vine by Airlands. Diamonds on the Vine. That's a good one. We're all diamonds on the vine, right? All trying to find that diamond within and that many diamonds all around us. Okay, so 30 more seconds. If you don't have a question, this is the last call. Happy to help you in whatever way I can today. Intuition, guidance, inspiration, encouragement, motivation, thinking outside the box, psychic, medium. I do it all, y'all. Katie, yes, okay. Come and slide in right at the last minute there. Okay, would love a card draw, your choice, thanks. Okay, but I still need you, my friend. I'm going to go with the Oracle deck for you today, but I still need your interactions. So go ahead and take a deep breath. Here's the Oracle deck. Go ahead and type in stop when you hear the word stop, and that's the card we'll pick for you while I'm shuffling here, going through. This is for Katie. That way I know that people are still interacting and still on the platform, still hanging out with me on this Friday. So I'm just shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling. Stop. Thank you. See how that works? We work in the quantum capacity now. Oh, interesting card for you, Katie. It's the nurture card. Nurture. Now notice that this woman, maybe that looks like you, I don't know what color hair you have or how long it is, but she's kneeling, she's surrendering, she's being humble, she's lifting up and opening up to the sun, the nature elements, the elements of plant, the elements of flowers, connecting to Mother Earth. Look, the hand back here is touching Earth and then raising up. And so what you need to do for this message, for this card that you picked, is to nurture thyself. And the number 3 that comes up on that card from the numerology is all about creative self-expression. So dancing, singing, writing, swimming, biking, hiking, meditating, social interactions, playing the guitar, playing an instrument, getting a sound bath. These are all things that you should do to help nurture whatever you're going through, and practice the breath work that we talked about, the Soma breath work today, to help with just remaining calm, because there's just so much going on in our world, y'all. And I see it. I said it. I podcast about it. I said that the Roaring 20s were going to be very chaotic, crazy, transformative. We're going to ascend. And again, there's a lot of variables that are playing into all of this, from the political to the robotic to the AI to the global scale to the wars that are taking place. And that's not including what happens with Mother Nature. We just had 2 big earthquakes north of us in Vancouver Island, a 6.5 and a 5.5, which a little bit, so we're not even throwing the chaos of what nature can do to us. So that could be pretty crazy as well. But, you're welcome, Katie. Spot on. No, you're awesome. No, you're awesome. No, you stop it. You're awesome. But again, today's message, if anything I can share with you on today's Metaphysical Meetup with Marc Live, is one of the best lessons you can learn in life is to master how to remain calm. And I gave you some of those tools for your spiritual toolbox today, to how to remain calm and how to navigate and prospect forward for the journey that you want, because it's all about your free will, your choice. And I always say, the 3 C's in life: make a choice, take that chance, see the change. If you don't risk it, there's never any biscuit. So I'll just check one last time. Any last questions? Last call. We're counting it down. Call me, Zoom me, or comment me. We're counting it down. 10, 9, 8. It's like a rocket taking off, right? Have you been watching the SpaceX and the what's the big rocket that's been just fascinating to watch? Starship. And they're at Starbase, like Star Trek stuff, right? But they count it down. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Hope you have a lovely rest of your Friday. Have a beautiful weekend. Just sending you a lot of love, a lot of healing, a lot of health. And I hope that you find calmness in wherever you're at in your journey. And until our next soul adventure together, be kind, be caring, be compassionate, and most importantly, dare to dream, dare to explore, dare to live. And I hope you discover that diamond within. All right. Take care, everybody. Namaste.
I am only a child living in the darkness, with my heart skipping beats, staring at the mat. Now I wait for the wind to tell me we are all crazy. Now I sing for the stars. I'm here but my voice is shaky. I used to wait for the world to change. I suppose there's still time left in the day. Can I hold your heart in mine? Can I hold your heart in mine? Can I hold your heart in mine? Can I hold your heart? I did keep it all inside. It ricocheted, ceaseless. Though my organs are tough, I dial my machinist, and he arrives with the part I've never even heard of. He says it's new, fancy tech, and starts to make the first cut. And who am I if not dying all the time? And who are you if not diamonds on the vine? Could you hold my heart this time? Will you hold my heart this time? Will you hold my heart this time? Will you hold my heart? As I'm watching the dirt pile on the gravestone, I have only one thought: what I could have done better. So when you reach the gold mine, could you pull out a pen and paper, write me a letter, and burn it in the wind? Now I can hear your heart in mine. I can hear your heart in mine. I can hear your heart in mine. I can hear your heart. Now I can hear your heart in mine. I can hear your heart in mine. I can hear your heart in mine. I can hear your heart. Now I can hear your heart in mine. I can hear your heart in mine. I can hear your heart in mine. I can hear your heart. I am only a man living in the darkness, with my heart skipping beats.
One planet, 7.3 billion people. Only one you. Life offers us many opportunities and learning experiences. Are you ready to explore and discover this beautiful planet, the life and energy all around us, the spiritual world, and what is unseen, along with your own personal soul adventure? Marc Lainhart, the intuitive prospector, is the spiritual connection you have been prospecting for. Internationally known as a tested and professional clairvoyant medium and spiritual advisor, Marc's work as a metaphysical teacher, medical instructor, radio show host, inspirational writer, and hiking guide are here to help you on a journey of self-discovery, healing, inspiration, education, and a whole lot of spiritual awesomeness. Dare to dream. Dare to explore. Dare to live. For more information on Marc's spiritual practice in Seattle, Washington, please visit marclainhart.com or internet search The Intuitive Prospector.